Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have with us Mr. Yash Dubal. He's the managing director of AY&J Solicitors, top UK immigration law firm, and which is based in Chancery Lane, London. I quite like his story. He came to UK he came from very humble background, and he had £1,500 in his pocket, which he got loan from his cousin, I think, and
Yeah.
he made the success out of it. So today we will discuss his success story, some of his services he provides, and what are his future plans. Thank you very much, Josh, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us, Hassan. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So, Yash, my first and my most favorite question is, what is success to you?
Success. I do read a lot of books. It does change every year, to be honest. So when I arrived in UK when I was 23. Success for me was to make money because I was coming from humble background, and I have seen this difficulty going through I would say poverty. And for at that point of time, success for me was to make money, to have a better life for myself and my family. When I was growing and I grew the company and I started living a comfortable life, then the success for me became a goal attainment. So I set a goal, and if I achieved it, that becomes success for me. Now, success, the third definition, now the recent definition for me, success is more about being a good human being. And what it means is, as a human, we all are basically made up of love and compassion.
Indeed.
So our innate nature, our basic nature, be it my the best friend or be it my enemy, they are all made up of love and compassion. If someone is not acting in a good way, which we think is not good, then they are suffering from some sort of ignorance. But basically, they are also doing things to be happy or to avoid suffering. So, so my recent definition of success is to be aware and have this sense of awareness all the time, and make sure that I connect with my inner self. It's more about a spiritual definition here, but this is what I'm trying to do these days. So this is my third definition, to be honest. Yeah.
Right, right, right.
So it's interesting question, and thanks for asking. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. Right, it's very impressive. And all of us are when we start, we get inspired by someone. We have a mentor in our mind. Who have you
Yes.
been inspired by, and why you have been inspired by that personality?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So who was my idol? Because when I was growing up, of course, I did not have facility to go and hire a mentor. Now I do have a personal mentor mentoring me, someone who is like Fortune 500 CEO and all that. Now I'm comfortable enough to hire these sort of mentors for me. But in very early days, I've been reading a lot of books, as I said earlier. So I would watch a lot of YouTube motivational video. I learned from them. So I started with Will Smith, and then Will Smith come across a very hardworking, relentless
Yeah,
person. I said, wow, he is my idol. This is what I should do, actually. I should be relentless. I should work hard. And this is what I've been doing since I arrived in the UK for almost 15 years. And then Elon Musk, hardworking, these sort of people, I like, say, wow, work hard, do your best, go for it. So these were the idol. Now, recently, I'm following a Buddhist philosophy. So, I do a lot of spiritual tour and learning. And there is a latest learning I came across, which I do every day, 15 minutes, called Tergar, Tergar. And a guy I found was Mingyo Rinpoche. So these Buddhist philosophers are becoming now on a world stage. If you see like Dalai Lama or there's another guy from France, Eckhart Tolle and all that. So these sort of people are now becoming my mentors these days, to live a peaceful life, and then go through the innate nature of love and compassion. Be human, be a good human being, and then So these are my mentors these days. Yes, it might change probably tomorrow. But yeah, this is my life journey I'm sharing with you. But thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. And point of views which I've got is people you follow who have struggled a lot and who came from humble background like yourself, and it's very good. When you came to UK, Yash, you have discussed that for 5 years you did odd jobs. How
Yeah.
were you feeling? What were you doing? Like, how did you feel? Like,
Yeah, good question. Yeah. So when I came to UK, I had only, as I said, 1,500 pounds. So it was very little money to
yeah,
survive. And I had a pressure to get on my own feet so that I don't eat away that saving. And then that was a borrowed money. And I had to, of course, return to my cousin. And I promised him within 6 months, I'll give him back. And I knew nothing about how I would do that. So I had that pressure. So my first job was working in a wholesale vegetable market. It was like a night job, but I was fortunate to start as a cashier. So they put me in some accounting. I had no knowledge of that. It was very chaotic early days. I had to count around 20,000 pound a day, where I did not see more than 1,500. So it was a stressful and interesting. But at the age of 23, it was not as stressful as I would find it today,
yeah,
because I had nothing to lose and everything to gain. So to wake up around night time and work till late, and it was like tiring, but because I was 23 years old, I could manage it. Then I moved to a sandwich shop. I worked as a shopkeeper or manager, whatever you say, all in one, sweep, mop the floor, serve the customers. The beauty is, like, I worked so diligently in every job, I never had to find next job. So I always found my next job from the previous job. So when I was working in this fruits market, someone picked me up, say, hey, do you want to come and work for me? So that was a sandwich shop guy. And
yeah,
from there, I met, someone was buying sandwich every day. He was a security company manager. He said, oh, you do very good job here. Do you want to come and work with me?
yeah,
And he said, okay, in those days, in 2005, 6, I'll pay you £10 an hour. I said, wow, that's big money.
yeah,
So I said, great, sitting down as a security guard and said making £10 an hour, it was a dream in 2005, 6.
hmm,
So I picked that up. So I found that job from there. So when I came back to UK after my marriage, and when I went back to the security companies, I said no more vacancy, because I lost that job, and said, okay, there's
yeah,
no more vacancy. So I was stressed. I said, what do I do next? So then, I saw around my friends, they were struggling with this college admission and all that. So I started making small commission through that introduction to colleges, and started making a living. I saw an opportunity that there wasn't very good immigration law firm at a good price, providing good service.
hmm,
I saw an opportunity, a gap, and then I became an OISC regulated advisor and started OIC regulated firm in September 2008.
hmm,
When I started the firm, it was back of my bedroom. I invested £30 in IKEA chair and table, and this is how I started my business, through word of mouth.
got,
So interesting journey. To answer your question, I always worked hard, and I gave my 100% into the job. And I did, I think, so well enough where I impressed my customers in that job to pick me up as their next employer. So I think, if the message to audience is like, if you work hard enough, if you give your 100%,
hmm,
there is always an opportunity waiting for you next.
yeah, indeed, indeed. And moving on to this, we have the audience, we specifically students, like 27 university students, and the good thing is most of them are South Asian students, because we work with South Asian community. Now, I have personally seen a lot of students struggling like you did. What specific advice do you have for them who are struggling right now?
Sure. So this is very subjective question, Hassan, because every person will have a different background and different upbringing, culture, way of living, and their financial situation as well, and family situation. This is very subjective question. But if someone is coming from the similar background as myself, then I would say the message is, just give your 100%. Don't be very fussy about the job, what you are getting. Just take the opportunity. And that opportunity will lead into the next opportunity. So there is a book I've been reading, and I don't know, I don't remember the name of the author, but if I find out, I'll just mention that. What it says is like, you jump, you take a leap, and the net will appear automatically.
Yeah.
So when you jump off the cliff, the net will appear automatically. Now, it's not magic. What happens in reality, when you jump off the cliff, you start weaving the net for yourself. You start weaving that net for yourself, because you will die if you don't survive. So you start weaving while you are jumping off the cliff. So it happens automatically when you are under pressure and you have this. For an example, look at this. When I came to UK, I had this 1,500 pound. I put a 10 pound of pay as you go credit. I was left with just 10 pence, making few phone calls. I received one call, which I missed it, which was from a landline. I had a choice to call that guy back or just wait and do nothing. I called that guy back. He said, look, can you come to my office now? I said, yes. When I went to this office, he said, look, the job starts at 11 p.m. night and we'll pay you da 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 da. Yeah. I did not ask him what would be my job. I did not clarify what would be my salary and what do I need to do. I did not know anything. I said, yes, I will be here 11 p.m. and that was it.
Yeah.
So this is how I started. So when I went to the first day of my job, I did not know my exit salary. I did not know my job role. I did not know my job duties. But because I jumped off the cliff, traveling all the way from India to UK with this 1,500 borrowed money, I had no choice but to start weaving my net.
Yeah.
To survive. So the message is from people of a similar background, or probably any background. So every person, they have their cliff.
Yeah.
Where they need to jump off to fly. Right? So take that leap of faith and start building your net on the way while you are falling off. Hopefully you will find a net somehow.
Yeah, indeed. And I have seen many of the students, there are different type of students as well. You must be dealing with a lot of students as a reputable law firm. Like some students have this illusion of maintaining that lifestyle but they had in India or Pakistan or any country. And when they come here, they don't want to do odd jobs or they don't want to even volunteer. And don't you think that it is, I'd say, necessary for them to have an experience of such jobs and see how the struggle is?
Right. Again, it's subjective where they're coming from. I know a few affluent families, Hassan, they don't need to work. I have seen some affluent students who did not apply for national insurance number for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. They did not apply for it. So I'm talking about these early days when, you had to apply for one. Nowadays, you are getting the NI number on the back of your BRP. But I'm talking about early days where you had to apply. I have seen some students, they did not apply. And I have seen some affluent students having 100,000 pounds in their bank account. They're students actually. So I've seen those students as well. So it's again subjective question where they're coming from. So someone having 100,000 pounds in their bank account as a saving, for living expense probably would not be too bothered about this question, unless they have this desire to grow and expand and be better on their own, right?
Yeah.
So if they have this for any reason, whether irrespective of their background, I would suggest take the opportunity you think is good for you or challenging for you, because if the growth happens outside your comfort zone.
Indeed.
Right. So let's say if you are running a 5 kilometer a day, if you don't push yourself and test your limit, how would you grow? You need to come out of this comfort zone, and you need to, when I've started doing this gym training for last 2 days, and every body of my, muscles of my body is in pain today, right? For last, but I'm fine. I'm happy every day I'm going to gym because I know when it's in pain, there is a gain.
Indeed.
So you have no choice but to create this pain only if you want the growth.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you want the growth? Do you want to grow? Do you want to expand? Do you want to fly? And if the answer is yes, then you have no choice but to come out of this comfort zone and do something different than what you are doing today.
Yeah.
Because expecting the same result, doing the same thing every day is foolish. And this is what probably I heard Albert Einstein said, but it's not clear whether he said it or not. But this is as expecting the same result, expecting different result, doing the same thing every day is foolishness, right? How can you expect different? It will not happen. You have to do something different. So yeah.
Indeed. And Yash, everybody talks about success. We spoke about your success, and we will speak about it's a fact that you made yourself a very good success and very high level firm. But what about your failure? What was your biggest failure, and what you learned from it?
There are a lot of failures, right? So a lot of failures, and it's a part of journey. Now, with my latest, of course, the spiritual learning, what I think is there is no success or failure. Actually, it's all about, it's part of life. So it goes up and down. So I do not get so excited with my successes if I make millions or billions or trillions, and I would not be sad even if I become bankrupt tomorrow, because this is what I'm trying to develop, that resilient, right? So if you are resilient here, this is what you need. So if you become extremely excited, there are high chances you will become extremely sad when it's a failure. So this is where I am at stage of my life. I'm just 40 years old today, but like I've developed, grow. But someone who is just starting their life, they would have a difficulty understanding this concept. So let me talk about when I was 30-year old, right? So success and failure is part of life. When you fail, you learn.
Yeah.
Right? You learn from your mistake. Don't repeat that mistake. You learn, you incorporate those learnings, and remember, it's like a cycle. So it's like there is a day. It doesn't stay there for 24 hours. We have 12 hours of night average, and 12 hours of day on an average, right? Plus or minus little bit here and there. So it's same like success and failure is a cycle. So if you have seen failure, then there is a definite success waiting for you next. And the more failure, then this is something nice I've learned from an author. He said, okay, look, if the 50% is success and 50% of failure, and let's say you are trying 10 times and you have hit 5 times failure, that means you are now more nearer to success, because the sixth time is more chances there will be a success. So you fail one more time, say, oh, great, I'm now more nearer to the success because I've passed that one possibility. So let's say 6th time you fail, say, okay, great, because now I'm more nearer to my success. That's one concept. But there is always learning. I don't see anything today in my life as a failure, no matter what happens. I might lose big money in some project. I might lose, I might hire wrong staff. I might be wrong in some ventures I might do in my business. It's okay. There are a lot of mistakes I have done in my life. It's okay. I've learned something. I have no regret whatsoever. What I've done till date in my life, no regret whatsoever, because it has been fantastic learning. It's a great experience,
All right. Now, coming towards your career, Yash, about law. There are a lot of law graduates related with us. And what do you think there are any certain opportunities you yourself, your firm provides to recent law graduates? And what do you see in a law graduate when you're recruiting?
Right. So I think for law graduate, when they get into the job, my practical advice is try and see what you can offer to the employer rather than looking at your own interests. Okay, when can I qualify? How can you make me qualify as a solicitor? Look, as an employer, they are more interested. What can you provide them as a productivity? So first, you need to provide productivity. And if you can bring in that productivity, then there is a possibility they will look into your interest as well. So this is, I think, so big advice. Try and see how can you add productivity into their business, and then you might get that opportunity. I think so most of the law graduates are looking for that opportunity. So if you look at my career progression, I always found an opportunity for the next job from the previous job. because of the productivity they could sense
Yeah.
from my work in the previous job role.
Yeah.
I was not providing productivity, but they could sense that I would provide productivity, to give them that assurance, that confidence. So in starting days, I mean, the low graduate might be happy to just join and say, look, I'll do that, just pick up anything as a job, and then slowly grow in the job role. And it's no brainer. For an example, someone was to join my law firm, and I can see a great potential that they are capable of doing so many things. Why would not I offer them a job role? Just to share one of the real life experience. There was a law graduate who was working on a ground floor as an intern with another law firm, and I happened to be there, and I looked at this guy. Was very young guy, 21 years old, completed his probably bachelor's, was doing probably his LPC or completed his LPC, something around that. I saw he had a great potential. He was very good at research, very good at communication. I was the one who offered him a job with the work permit.
Yeah.
Right. In a coffee shop, I said, look, are you interested? He said, yes, I am interested. And he then jumped onto this opportunity, did literally anything, everything in his power to make a productive job role for me as a company. And then now, as of now, he's earning around 150,000 pounds in just 6-7 years. He's not with us anymore, but he moved on. Of course, he progressed so well. And he's now making a very decent living. So you see, that example is a live example with our firm. Having said that, look, as of now, we don't have any job offer with the work permit. I want to say that on record so that I don't start getting influx of inquiries. We don't have, but this is what I did in 2014. And in 7 years down the line, this guy is doing so well. So that's the prime and live and real example, because this guy was doing so well as an intern with that law firm. I said, look, wow, this guy has a capacity, capability to deliver. Let me offer him a job. And this is how I offered him a job.
Okay. All right. You guys only deal in immigration, or you have any other services out there as well?
No, we just do UK immigration. We don't practice any other area of law, but UK immigration. Mainly, we help overseas national to get their work visa, how they can settle down in the UK. We also help UK companies to bring their overseas staff. And I've done a webinar, which is on my YouTube channel, 10 routes to settle down in the UK, mainly for student. I did with a university student. Brilliant webinar. If someone was to look at that, they will find literally anything and everything they want to know how they can settle down, except probably graduate route. I'm not sure if I've covered a graduate route visa option. Did I? I'm not sure. I don't remember now. But if I did, then brilliant. So just 10 routes. Everything is in there. If you watch that, I think so the most easy route for any student is to, while they are studying, take any job role, build up a rapport with the employer. If you are very, very desperate to get onto skilled worker route visa, develop that rapport, develop that relationship with any employer, literally any employer. And then, there is a bright chance that you will get a skilled worker visa route. So easy. Don't be disheartened. Don't be disappointed. Don't underestimate yourself, because there is so much so you can offer. Trust me, you can so much so offer. When you travel all the way from 7,000, 6,000 miles, you have this passion and desire and fire, which is very hard to find in any other common employee. This is your positive point. Just bank on this. Is your strength. And as a migrant, this is where you should fight for. Your strength is your reliability, your productivity, your fire, your desire to grow and do something well for yourself and your family. This is what will make you successful employee or resource for the company. So my prayer and my best wishes goes to all students, likewise myself, where I was once, to be successful and have a best life for themselves and their family.
Yeah. You just spoke about graduate visa. You just gave a hint. I was coming on that. So, Yash, most of the students know what is graduate visa, when it is starting, and who is eligible. But my question would be, and a lot of queries which we got, is that can the students do business on the graduate visa, and would it be eligible for residency? it will count in the residency indefinite?
Yeah. So when you take a graduate route visa, it would be valid for 2 years or 3 years if you are PhD. It does not straight away count towards your settlement. Not straight away, but it will be considered for settlement on a long residency, which is 10 years route to settlement. So if you have stayed in the UK for continuous lawful residence for 10 years, it can add on to it.
Got it.
Now, if it doesn't apply to you, if you are not completing 10 years, then it doesn't go on to get settlement straight away. But when you are on a, let's say, graduate route visa, you can do business.
Okay, you
right?
can
you can work as a self-employed. You can run your limited company because there is no restriction on type of work you can do. Now, this is generating another brilliant, innovative idea on your podcast or webcast, Hassan, that if you are genuinely keen to start a business, and if you start a business, you can then get a sponsor license, and then you can self-sponsor yourself. See, so work visa sorted. You see on this webinar right now, on this webcast right now.
Perfect.
If someone is suffering from a stress, graduate route visa, if you are genuinely starting active trading UK company, do that. Get a skilled worker visa, get a sponsor license for your own company, and sponsor yourself. There is a challenge. You need one settled staff to get that sponsor license. But look, I believe in a solution and figuring out the nitty-gritty later on. Now look, we have a solution on this video call. On the Zoom call, we have a solution. Graduate route visa, business, sponsor license, I'll sponsor myself. Boom, done, right? Nitty-gritty, we'll sort it out. Of course, there are challenges, but we can sort that out easy.
And there have been ease in the sponsor license as well nowadays. I think it's easy to get.
Plenty. We literally do at least 1 or 2 applications a day. I mean, we are very, very, very busy doing a lot of sponsor license applications. Very busy, and we have almost 100% success rate. I do recall one refusal where my client, he did not listen to our advice on compliance side of it and failed. So if you listen to our advice and follow our advice precisely, we at times also offer money back guarantee. We are so confident in what we are doing in terms of sponsor licensing and skilled worker visa, that sort of work we do actually. And this is how we are experienced and expert and knowledgeable in this area.
Yes, and I have personally seen the reviews which you have got.
Thank you.
Reviews. And moving on, Yash, there is one more very interesting visa, global talent visa.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. What is it? And there is one thing which comes to my mind. Is it only for science and these sort of stuff? Or when you say there's a part of humanities, what comes in humanities in that thing?
I think so. Challenge with global talent visa is to find this exceptional contribution. And this is at times, very difficult to prove because there are many endorsing body, and to be honest, I'm not specialist on every endorsing body, so I'm unable to comment straight away, but I have a team who are specialized doing this. I don't prepare application myself these days. As a director, my main job now is to design strategy and business development and overall management of the business. That's what I do. So please excuse me if I cannot provide very detailed feedback on humanity side of global talent visa. But what I'm aware of mainly and I've been dealing with is a tech nation global talent visa. Very easy for someone who is specialized in, let's say, interesting technology, which includes like blockchain or AI, cloud computing, etc. Even if you're a software engineer, or something to do with software engineer, and if you have done something exceptional, even for a client, and if we can get a reference for it, and if you've been active in, let's say, some sort of innovative product, but you have to have a patents, and if you don't have patents, then you should be active doing some mentorship. And if you get references for those mentorship, there are good chances you will get global talent visa. So what we have done within our firm, we are doing it for now many years, Hassan, and we have streamlined the process so much. So we have one email template for a short assessment, which we send it out to all inquiries we get. you reply to those questions, and probably within like very next day or the day after, we can confirm at least whether you do or do not qualify, which is free if you go through that short assessment. It's not bespoke
assessment on your website. I've seen it.
Yeah, so that's free, and you get to know at least the gist of it, whether you in up high level do you or do you not qualify for it. So it's a very good visa. I love it because it comes with the maximum freedom.
Yeah.
Once you get it, you don't need to do any extension, because once you get it, either for 3 years or 5 years, depending on how you qualify for it, then you straight get settlement, permanent residency, no extension required. And of course, you can bring your family, you can do any work, business, whatever you like. So plenty of benefits. No extension is very good, I can see. So yeah, plenty of benefits. Great visa, I think so. The best visa in today's date, but again, subject to qualifying criteria.
Qualifying, and their endorsement, I think, as well. There are endorsing bodies too.
Yes, you need to get that endorsement, which at times challenging.
Got it. And just people who, some of the students I've seen, they're on student visas for years. Like they have been on Tier 4 for 6 years, 8 years. Is there any possibility they can get a settlement through that Tier 4, or there's no possibility?
Absolutely. So if they stay in the UK for continuous lawful residence for 10 years, then they can qualify for long residency, settlement, permanent residency. And there are plenty, actually. They've started their journey when they were kid, in school. And they finished their school in the UK, then bachelor's, then master's, another master's, maybe PhD. And those students would qualify if they meet the continuous lawful residence requirement. So in 10 years' time, you should not be absent more than 540 days. There are some exceptional circumstances which can go in your favor if it's more than 540, but normally it's 540 days of absences allowed in last 10 years, and you should not be away from the UK in one go more than 6 months. And you always extended your visa. You have maintained your continuous lawful residence. At times I do get a lot of consultation, Hassan, around this long residency, where someone came as a child student, then they had to go, and then they applied for another visa, came back again. And if you come back within 6 months, it's fine.
Yeah,
there is no break. So I think the best thing is, because it's complicated, I would suggest audience, if they think they fit into it, better they take a consultation from a lawyer and just confirm whether they do or do not qualify. I would say that's best advice. But yeah, even as a student spending 10 years in the UK, you can get settlement. I have done it many times. Interesting point, which probably many of the audience might be puzzled to even listen. You can even include visit visa stay in this long residency.
Oh.
So there was a client of mine contacted me, completed 9 years, few months, short of like 6 months, from a visa-free country, Hong Kong, Singapore, Maldives. They don't need visa when they arrive in the UK. So she left the UK when she had a student visa, returned back within like a month or two, spent another few months, and before her visit visa 6 months was to expire, we submitted long residence, we got it. So you can even combine visit visa. Visit visa is a continuous lawful residence, because it's a lawful. You are not illegal. When you are in the UK, you are legal as a visitor. So you can even combine that.
Got it.
For someone who said, oh, no, I don't want to extend any more visa. I don't want to spend, of course, another university fees, and I don't have desire to study anymore, and I've finished my 9 years.
Yeah.
If you want to use visit visa route, and if you can maintain your continuous lawful residence, my friend, it's possible.
Perfect. And for the startup visa, just only, does it count to settlement?
No, startup visa doesn't offer settlement route. No, so you need to convert into innovator visa. Then you meet the qualifying criteria through innovator visa, and then you can apply for settlement.
All right. And Yash, you have been doing a lot of webinars, Zoom meetings.
Yes,
I've seen your videos. How our society members, our students can join that if they have
it's free. All of them are free. Just go on my website. There is a resources section. There is a webinar section. Just register for the webinar. Whatever the webinar you like, it's free, and You will get ton of advice and tips, which I'm sharing right now with you on this call. Ton of advice, practical advice, free. So yeah, join any webinar for free. Go on my website, register yourself, and more than welcome.
And in the future, do you have any plans to do in-person events for students?
It's about resources, right? So it's my time. I am so tight on my diary every day. It's like jam packed. So I don't think so. These meetings are working so well. The Zoom meetings are working so well for everyone.
Yeah.
Right. For me as well as for my audience, because they get the same information.
Yeah.
At their desk.
Yeah.
They don't need to travel anywhere. So my intention is not to go in person for foreseeable future, unless there are some compelling grounds to do that.
Yeah, and we hope that inshallah, we have been doing events before that in central London as well. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, for the benefit, just for an experience, why not? But yeah, mostly I think this Zoom is, I think, so fantastic. When you create these digital assets, it stays there forever. Some of my videos are viewed probably many thousand times. So I feel so proud and happy, and I feel also content and grateful that 1 hour of my that recording is helping 10,000 people. Can you imagine? Like, when am I gonna get 10,000 hours in my life to help somebody?
Yeah.
So it's we are living in the blessed world today.
Indeed. Coming towards the end, we have an organization, United Southeast. You might have heard a bit about it. We work for unity, basically. I've asked the same question to Kirit Pathak, late Kirit Pathak. I was the last person to interview him, and he unfortunately died. And what do you think? Is there any possibility that India and Pakistan's relations will be good? Specifically considering that when you were in India and let's say I was in Pakistan, I think we have the different point of view about both of each other's country. But when we come here in these countries, we are like brothers. So do you think, is there any possibility that the relationship will be good?
What is good and bad? It's all political agenda, actually.
Yeah.
Right? There is no good, no bad between you and me today, Hassan. And there is no good and bad in the clients I'm serving today.
Yeah.
They see me as the best brother, best friend, and the best advisor, best philosopher, best guide.
Yeah.
And I see them as my brother and my best client.
Yeah.
I don't have any negative to say about this relationship, to be honest. I have enjoyed so much so my clientele from all countries all around the world, includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And there is a big fan following for me from every country in the world. And when it comes to this comment of relationship, to be honest, it's all political.
Yeah.
It's all about divide and rule in respective countries to get and attract the vote bank, I guess.
Yeah.
So there is nothing good or bad. It's just how you interpret it, right? And if you really want to participate in this political Vedanta, rather than your personal growth as a human being. So when I started this talk, you see, like, I'm in a different zone now.
Yeah.
I'm in what I believe is like everyone.
Yeah.
Whatever you are doing today, you are doing something to be happy, or you're doing something to avoid suffering.
Yeah.
What I am doing today is to be happy or to avoid some suffering. Same applies to someone we consider as a bad person, but that bad person doing that bad things in that moment of time, he or she is doing that bad thing because either he wants to be happy doing that bad thing, or he wants to avoid suffering of his past or her past. So I think it's now I'm in a different zone to comment even on this subject, because I don't think there is anything bad or good. Indeed. So when it comes to relationship, we are all human beings, and we are all made up of love and compassion. That's the basic human need and nature. Yes. So yeah, I genuinely enjoyed. I do enjoy, and I do have so many clients. Trust me. Yeah. Probably, I would say half of the clients are from all the countries, every country, literally. Yeah. There's no difference.
Yeah. So moving on, Yash, just to the last, what is the question you wish someone has asked you but no one asked?
It's tough one. No one will ask. I think so. Everybody. I mean, the question you asked me were very good question, which I had like to share as my journey, which probably might give a little bit of
Yeah,
guidance or probably some sort of motivation
yeah,
for someone to do something where I'm coming from. So I think so. I'm glad you asked me all the question I
yeah,
wish you could have asked me. So thank you. There is nothing I can think of now. No.
yeah. And lastly, how would you like to be remembered?
Um, just helping others.
Yeah,
I like to be remembered that this guy did something for humankind, and and what I'm doing probably, if you are not aware of, I'm developing an AI based application.
hmm.
It's a kind of a robo-lawyer. If successful in 2 years' time, what my aim is to demonetize these immigration services. So the goal is that to make this advice available to all, not a few. To be honest, we do charge significant and probably reasonable fees, and at times it might not be affordable for everyone.
Yeah,
So I do recognize that, and it's just because of the resources are so expensive, the lawyers are so expensive, and
yeah,
the running cost is so high. I cannot afford delivering the services for less, and I do recognize that. So I'm developing this artificial intelligence based application,
hmm.
which is kind of in layman terms, I will pull my brain, put it in the machine, and that is just machine learning, and it
Got it.
becomes better and better. And then we are trying to take this need of human need from the immigration advice and services, starting with that. If we
Hmm.
become successful, we can then replicate and expand this to other area of law.
Yeah,
So this is my humble effort starting this May 2021. UK government has given us a grant of £170,000. We are also investing few £1,000 in this project. It's in partnership with University of Bradford.
got it.
It will start this first week of June 2021, will run for 2 years. So this is what I'm trying. This is my humble effort, Hassan, to give to
Yeah,
the society something which I have been so fortunate to experience.
congratulations on starting this and best of
Thank you.
luck for the future. We hope to see it come stronger and stronger.
Thank
And
you.
thank you very much, Yash, for
Thank
giving
you.
us your time. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.